Picture this. You are 60 miles into a 100-mile run. Your legs are done. Your brain is screaming for you to stop. And the only thing standing between you and the finish line is the story that you decide to tell yourself in that moment. Now, imagine that same mental tug of war playing out in the boardroom, except the stakes are the startup's entire funding round, a team of people depending on you, and a technology landscape that changes faster than anybody can keep up with. Sav Wild doesn't just know what it feels like, she lives this. She's a competitive ultra endurance athlete, an AI agency co-founder, a triathlete preparing for a global debut, a certified performance coach, and she's built something that most people only talk about, a resilience framework that works whether your finish line is a 100-mile race or your next big business pivot. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on exactly how she does it. Welcome back to Peak Performance Mindset. I'm your host, Megan DeVito, and today I am genuinely fired up about this conversation. My guest is Sav Wild, and if you don't know Sav yet, buckle up because she is amazing in every sense of the phrase. Sav is the co-founder of Agenic Farms. It's an AI agency building custom automations for businesses from local startups to enterprises organizations. She's also the co-founder of Rewire. It's a neurological rehab app that gamifies cognitive recovery, which honestly is groundbreaking. And as a fractional business developer, she crafts go-to market strategies for founders who are ready to scale. And as a fully certified ICF high performance coach, she works with individuals and teams to get aligned and executing at their highest level. Her career has spanned Canada and international markets, taking startups from pre-seed all the way to funding, traction, and market adoption. And then, because apparently that's not enough, outside of the boardroom, as a competitive triathlete preparing for her global debut, an ultra endurance runner and coach, and her worlds. I had the privilege of having Sav on my former show, More Than Anxiety, earlier in 2025, where she blew my audience away talking about using movement to manage anxiety. Today, we're going deeper into resilience. How do you build the mental architecture to keep going when everything is hard? The pressure is relentless, and quitting would honestly be the easier choice. So whether you're chasing a podium, a funding round, or you're just trying to get through your week without falling apart, this episode is for you. Welcome to Peak Performance Mindset. I'm Megan DeVito. I'm a performance mindset coach, a swim coach, and somebody who believes that your mental game drives everything. This show is where sport meets leadership, where we build resilience, confidence, and emotional strength so that you can perform under pressure, whether that's in the pool, on the field, or in the boardroom, or just in everyday life. Because success isn't just physical, it's mental, and your mindset determines how far you go. Let's get to it. Last time we talked so much about anxiety, and we talked about how do you feel like when you run and managing all of the feelings. And then we never even got to the big story, which I said at that point in time, I'm like, wait a second. I totally forgot to hit the thing that I wanted to talk about.
Hey, that's all
Let's
good.
just pick up where we left off. So if you didn't catch the first episode, I had Sav on and we were talking about what it's like to be an ultra marathon runner and to go out and run these races and how do you do that? It's mystifying to me still. And she has this incredible story, which for me, I was so wrapped up in the fact that anybody could run that far that I never got to hear the part where you really had to lean into some big time resilience. So tell me where we left off and tell your story.
All right, let's kill that suspense. Yeah, I would say, definitely a story of resilience. I mean, kind of the culminating moment was March 2024. I was cruising down on my bike, going pretty speedy. And I was only 6 minutes from my house when an F-150 just kind of turned right into the cycling lane and resulted in a head-on collision, to the point where bystanders were your hands didn't even go for the brakes. It was so instantaneous. So the blessing of obviously a head-on collision, it was a pretty clear accident. And I had quite isolated injuries, if you will. There was not really any road rash or anything, so I didn't skid or fly. The downside of that, I suppose, is that the full impact, the full force went to my head and ultimately my spine and resulted in a broken neck. I had 13 stitches in my ear, so I never regained hearing. And then a good old brain injury to kind of put the cherry on top. And then, like, some other random stuff, but yeah, that was the big stuff. Yeah.
And just for everybody who's listening to this, that is actually the first time I've heard the whole story that I did not know that
Really?
you got hit by
Okay.
a truck. Like,
Yeah.
literally got hit by a truck.
A big yellow truck. Yeah. I'm gonna print it on a T-shirt one day. So
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know where to start with that because that do you remember the accident happening?
Not really, no.
Not
I was in
really?
the hospital for, like, 3 weeks, and I only started to have, like, because my short-term memory is what essentially got shattered,
Mhm, mhm.
like, to the point where friends were coming into the hospital. I was gonna say hotel, hospital room, and,
Ah,
I had no idea who they were, and I was, like, flipping
oh my
out.
gosh.
So, yeah, I have no memory of the accident. I have, like, one flashback maybe of a lady in
Uh-huh.
sunglasses, like, trying to calm me down, and it's crazy because I actually received a photo from a bystander, and, like, there's a lady with sunglasses holding me.
Wow.
So, um, but aside from that, I mean, kind of the blessing, I guess, is that I don't have any cognitive memory,
It's
of the
amazing.
accident. Yeah, it is.
Absolutely amazing. So
Yeah.
you were not running, you were actually biking. And I know that
Uh-huh.
you had mentioned once that you were preparing for a triathlon. So
Yes.
um, fast forward, you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it. Yeah, thank goodness, hey? We're still
Yeah. And
here.
people are like, whoa, hold on a second. How did you keep going? Because
Yeah.
that's
Uh,
scary.
yeah, kind of funny timing because I was just writing about this actually for my own reflection. Because it's kind of coming into the season again where it's warm enough, my
Mhm.
bike comes out, and
Sure.
I feel a full body resistance to getting back on the road. Just like when I take them off, I just am like, oh my gosh, like that could happen again. And my mind goes
Hmm.
to the places. So it's still very much alive, but I always say, like, never discount the power of passion. Like, if you're passionate about something, just lean into that because I have personally experienced it overpowering every other sensation, fear, grief, loss, name it. Like, it has
Hmm.
always won for me.
Hmm. Yeah, so passion is your driver. It has to be there, right? Like, you don't just jump back
Yeah.
on a bike after something like that. I mean, there's an episode of Ted Lasso about this. I swear to you, I talk about Ted Lasso in almost every single podcast episode, and
Really?
that's not on purpose. I really don't mean to, but I was like, there's something for every single person in every single episode. But no, like, the therapist gets hit by a car when she's riding her bike, and she has to decide to get back on the bike. Like, it's literally in there. And I'm wondering, like, when you think about that resilience that it takes, when you think about having to make that choice, and you said it's a full body reaction. I mean, I think that's true for
Oh.
people. You have this huge thing that you had to overcome, but there's so many people that are like, well, I tried and it didn't work. Or, I
Mm,
mean, it's just so hard. That's not normal resilience that we're talking about with you. Like, that's, yes, passion. How do you channel that? How do you get it from how do you move past that feeling in your body where you're like, "Yeah, I'm not sure if I wanna go out on that bike."
mm. Oh man, I think it's this mindset shift of like it's going to suck either way. Like it sucks to sit in that feeling of like, "Oh, I've got that fear, I've got that hesitation, that anxiety. It's in me whether or not I'm on my bike." So then the question is like, well, do I go and access the joy that the sport brings me? Do I go access the joy of competing and being out there? And still maybe have, that anxiety, that fear as a passenger in the car, but at least I'm driving it. And I think that's like something so many people allow to kind of paralyze them is like, I feel it, so therefore I won't do it. It's like, you can have both. So,
Yeah, that's such a good thing, and that choosing your heart is really I mean,
mm,
there's such a I think that we will look at something like, "Oh, that makes me so nervous," or, "Ooh, I just don't feel like I'm good enough. This person's better than me. I'm gonna lose. I'll fail."
mm,
All of those things that we fear, and I mean, literally, yours was more almost like, I don't wanna say life or death, but kinda life or death. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
that's a big deal injury.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. It definitely was life or death. And I think, yeah, I don't know. It's like, why not just choose? Yeah, like you said, I like how you said, like, you choose your hard, right? It's like
Mhm.
there's gonna be difficulties anyway, and at least enjoy the empowerment of choosing yours. So,
Right. How did you so the first do you remember the first ride you took after your accident when you were able to go back? Did you
yes, I
cry?
did.
Like, through the
Yes, I
whole
did.
thing? Yeah. I wanna
Yeah.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. My mobility was so bad in my neck that I waited a while to get back on
Yeah.
my bike because I couldn't turn my head, which is kind of an essential element to not getting smoked again. And so
Right.
I practiced a lot on, like, I had a trainer inside and, like, literally I
Uh-huh.
remember day 1 was just, like, grabbing the handlebars because I couldn't do that. Like, my mind didn't remember, but my body did. I don't know how else to describe that. So, like, day 1 was literally, like, I'd get on the bike and I would just hold the handlebars and I would, like, be in a full body shock, and I was like, "Okay, 5 minutes, I'm good. We'll try again tomorrow." And I built it up, and then I, like, took my bike outside, and it was still on a trainer, it was still stationary, but I would practice the next day. And eventually I was like, okay, I'm ready to go out and take this bike. I wasn't super comfortable on the road, but yeah, I didn't have access to just go purely on a bike path. So, anyways, I threw it out on Instagram. I was like, does anyone want to come ride with me? And a little group assembled, and I just kind of stayed in the middle of them. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm feeling everything right now. But I think the vulnerability to vocalize that and to invite others to witness it, it took away the shame and it took away the pressure to not feel it. I was like, this might just be a component of me cycling from now on, is that, like, I lose my breath sometimes and a car comes too close and I have to stop and, recalibrate. And so I think, yeah, just inviting people into that allowed me to create a lot of resources to make a successful return.
Yeah. That's a big deal, and so much of what you said about how your body remember even if you didn't have that memory, like, except for the lady in the sunglasses, but that your body's like, "Whoa, no, 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 no. We already did that once. Don't do that again." I mean,
Yeah.
it is and we can use that to our benefit or not, right? I mean, maybe not muscle memory,
Mm.
but we do store all of it in there. I mean, we toss that muscle memory thing around like it's like you know how to swim or to run because your muscles will do it. You could do it asleep, but it also will keep you stuck on
Yeah, it
purpose.
will. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
I just learned that concept of, like, the body doesn't hold time. Like, time is irrelevant to the body. So if something happened 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and maybe there's new infrastructure that would make a similar accident impossible. Like, your body, your brain isn't taking that into account. So it's kind of up to you to challenge it. And I don't want to say, like, don't trust your brain, but I had to question it. I had to be like, whoa, like, I'm okay, I've got this. And maybe a degree of surrender is involved in that too. Of like, okay, maybe something will happen and I lived through that, so it's okay if something does.
There's so many questions right now. First of all, I love that degree of surrender.
Mm.
Like, the more you try to control it, I mean, what are we controlling? Right?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
I'm only going to, I mean, you can stay on the stationary bike in your garage,
You
right?
could.
And never go anywhere. But that idea of like surrendering in so many different things, I think that, I mean, whether you're talking to somebody who's trying to do a triathlon or you're talking to somebody that is going to go in, because I know that you started an AI company. Yeah.
But yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah. And how do you know what the heck is going to happen with that? I feel like AI is different every 5 seconds. I mean, it's just growing
Is.
so quickly and growing
Yeah.
so fast. I mean, there's resilience in there too, because how do you know what worked and what didn't work with something like that, or what to let go of? I mean,
Mm.
I'm baffled by it. Like I look at AI sometimes, I'm like, shouldn't it all have the same answer? Shouldn't it do this? I'm so confused by it and I'm like am so grateful for it, but also terrified of it at the same time. But like,
Yeah.
how do you take this idea of I'm starting something that the entire world is kind of starting at the same time and build
Mm.
it? Like there's got to be a level of I'm gonna have to just let go and try this a million times.
Yeah, so much so. There's so much surrender in, I mean, yeah, like in sport and business, it's all relevant because I find even in starting it and like kind of the endeavors that have spurred out from it, it's like I never expected half of them, but I let people kind of tell me where they see it relevant, and then it's like, ah, okay, I can do that. I think it's a degree of trust of like I just I don't know, like yeah, how do I feel about that? That's a good question. I get a client request and it's like, whoa, okay, that's like crazy. I never thought about using AI in that way. But if you want to tell me how you see it working out, like I'll get on board. I'll brainstorm with you. I'm kind of willing to go through those weeds and like just kind of fumble around with someone.
Like to me, when I think about it, I mean, going from somebody in my experience, not maybe, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
likely very different than yours, going from one career to another career
Mm,
where I had to try. I mean, I've talked a lot about leaving the classroom and going into
yeah.
coaching and how it was like, I don't have any freaking idea how to run a business. Like, I didn't go to business school. I didn't know all of that stuff. And I'm like, well, I guess
Yeah.
we'll just try that and try that and try that and try that. And let me tell you, there were like a million and one times where I thought is insane. Like, I should probably
Yeah.
just not be doing this. And no way, because I love what I do, but it does require a level of resilience. And I just can't imagine going into something that's still so new and changing so
Mm,
quickly. I feel like we have the foundations of coaching, but
yeah.
AI is just it's
There's
huge
no
and changing.
foundation.
And you're, let's go. Let's just see what happens with this.
Yeah. Oh man. You know what I think it comes down to is the same thing we develop in sport. It's like it's a willingness to try. And it's like this belief that nothing's beyond repair. So it's like, well, why not? Like, and that's maybe the beauty of AI is like you can lean into the fact that it is so like malleable and changing and nothing's quite concrete with it. It's like if you can kind of embrace that and lean into it, then it actually becomes exciting. Because I guess that's, even thinking about like our last conversation on anxiety, like anxiety and excitement are the same chemical makeup. And so
Mhm.
it's like, oh, am I nervous about like how unpredictable this is? Or like, do I find that kind of exciting? And I guess that's been my approach to that business is like, oh, let's just see what we can do. So, it's fun. It's really fun,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's so fun to see that crossover and how, like, especially if you grow up doing a sport, whether it's biking or running or swimming or basketball or anything else, all of those things that you learn at that point in time are always setting people up for like the skills that they're going to need later on. Like if you're going to be a weenie, you should just definitely not try and do anything hard. But how again, going back to that idea of like, are you going to be happy with that? Like, is
Yeah,
that what you want to choose for yourself?
exactly. Yeah. I really profoundly believe, like, you cannot let the comfort of today compromise what you're willing to work for in the future. Because I mean, if you make your decisions off of what's easy and what's comfortable, I mean, it does. It cancels out so much growth and with that opportunity and just, I don't know, possibility in general. So yeah, gotta stay open.
Yeah, and that whole idea of staying open and, like, your mind not getting stuck in that, "I don't know, this feels really bad. I don't know how to do it," or "I
Mm.
got severely injured." That's a lot of people struggle with that, and I think it's such an important thing that, like, we've done such an incredible job of keeping our kids safe to the point where I see so many people struggle with resilience because we've
Mm,
learned to make things easy, right? Like make it so easy on yourself. And I almost feel like we've just put bubble wrap around everyone so much that our resilience is tanked.
yeah.
And do you feel like it's something that you're just born with? Or do you feel like, were you
Oh,
born with it? Or what do you think that is for if people are like, wait a second, though, I'm not resilient?
yeah, that's such a good question.
Yeah.
Um, I guess my access to it feels very supported in the sense that, like, I think you could have gotten another Sav right beside me, the exact same makeup, and I imagine that like the experiences that I had just continued to promote resilience in my life, and that was also through the support I received in challenge, because I think it's like if the challenge is so intense and the support is so non-existent, it has like the power to really do some damage. And I credit the support that I received and just like how I was able to lean into people as a big component of that resilience. Cause it was like, okay, if I don't believe in myself, they do. So I'm going to keep going. Um, and I imagine somebody in the exact same situation, if they didn't have certain environmental supports, might be compromised in how they developed resilience, but it doesn't cancel out their ability to now access it. Like I do think it's like a muscle. Like you work it out, you practice it, and you further develop it. Um, and I think the key to developing resilience is to not flee from difficulty, like to saddle up and, like the whole buffalo mentality of like they run toward the storm, like be a buffalo, like just go toward it.
That
So
is should also be on a t-shirt.
I
Like
think so
you can get
too.
the
Be
big
a
yellow
buffalo.
truck and like be a buffalo,
Yeah.
and people will be like, I have no idea what that means. But yeah, running towards things that scare you is very counterintuitive. But it is,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there are probably my perspective on that, I guess, is there are probably some people who are born a little more willing to go after it on their own. Maybe they have that fire inside where they've kind of got that feeling, or they're contrarian. Bless them.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and some people are waiting for permission.
Mm,
You
yeah.
know, like that idea. I like what you said about having somebody there to support you and learning how to give yourself permission, maybe.
I like that. Actually, it kind of spurs the thought of like curiosity as well, because I think when my surgeons gave me my diagnosis, it was not good. And they were like, you won't be doing this, you won't do this, you won't compete again, like hang up your bike, forget everything. And I wasn't, maybe I was a little bit defiant, but I wasn't trying to be. I was genuinely curious. I was in my brace, like a full neck brace. And I remember just being like, I wonder if I could just run like 500 meters in this thing. Like, definitely was not supposed to. I wasn't
In your
supposed to
neck
run
brace?
for like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Lord,
not encouraging this. It ties in, I swear. But I remember like, yeah, it was curiosity that drove me. It was like, I wonder if I could do this. And like, I wonder if this would work. And I experimented so much with like, so many different modalities and like, I don't know, rehab exercises and stuff. And so I think like a degree of like the resilience that I saw come out of the accident was like kind of spurred by like, I just wonder what would happen if I tried this. So,
and there's
yeah.
something to be said for like curiosity and gamifying things. Like, I mean, what if we just
Yeah.
made it a game? What if I could just go 5 feet? Then what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it does help. I mean, even the most afraid person is willing to take a risk if it's game. They do it all
It's
the
so
time.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds
Oof.
me of being in I just was in Spain in November competing at Worlds, and we were doing a training swim the day before with my coach. And there's like, kid you not, like 5 foot waves. I hate the ocean to start with, so I was like, dude, I'm like so not into this.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get that panicky feeling, like I've got a tight
Mhm.
wetsuit on. I've got like, I feel like I'm getting waterboarded by the waves. I'm like, this sucks. And my coach like grabs my shoulder and she's like, it's either scary or fun. You choose. And then she like threw me in. And I actually feel like that's an approach I like continue to live by because it's so true. It's like the feeling's insane and it's intense. And it's either like, oh my gosh, I got to get away from this, or like, oh, holy crap. Like, let's go. So,
Love that. It's just so
yeah.
scary or fun to get in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it could be a little bit of both. This is really fun and really terrifying at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
probably the
good.
healthier way of looking at it.
Right. So you're in Spain
Yeah.
last year. What's coming up?
Well, in next weekend is my first race of the year. It's backyard ultra, so it's
Yeah.
the last man standing style. Uh,
Good.
and then we've got a world record attempt 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
And then,
The world record in
yeah,
what? Tell everybody what your world record is in.
well, it's in the fastest 50K barefoot, so that should be fun. Yeah.
50K barefoot.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah, I will need it.
Like, is it on
It's on a
grass?
track.
A
Yeah.
track. Okay, because I'm like,
Yeah.
rocks? Ow.
I
Okay,
know.
on a
Right.
track.
Not my first choice, but it has to be, like a
Okay,
pre-certified course for Guinness, but,
okay, okay.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right. That is super fun. And you will let us know so that we can say world record holder and
Yeah,
get that
hopefully.
in your LinkedIn bio.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. World
That's
record
the goal.
holder. That's amazing. Like, you are the toughest human I think that I've ever met, literally.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm serious. I'm like, no, I'm like dying that first of all that you run that far. And second of all, now you're gonna do it with no shoes, the broken neck, and how far
Yeah.
can I run with this brace on? And that's incredible.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. So
boredom,
how
man.
how do you tell people what you do with your AI stuff? Like, I want you to like share the
Yeah.
love here. How what do people what can you offer the world here? Give them a
What can
reason to
I
call you
offer
up.
the world? Okay, well, phone me up if, like me, you hate being
Yeah.
on the computer and you want to spend your time out on your swim or your bike or your run, because genuinely that's usually what I do. I never will automate the things that like this. You cannot replace
Nice.
this. The
Right.
human connection, the authentic reach, it's so valuable, but the goal is to make it so there's no back end stuff that's weighing you down. You have greater capacity for these types of things. So yeah, I automate boring stuff. This is what I can say.
Love that
Yeah.
because who doesn't want more like real like face to face, go outside and touch some grass and run and
Yeah.
swim and have some fun. And no, I think that's perfect. That's my hope. I'm like, AI, like, give me all the things that can detect cancer really early and make all of the mundane things go so that we can all go be
Yeah.
more human instead of less
Exactly.
human.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, where do they find you? Like, LinkedIn.
Well,
I know you're on
Instagram.
LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's LinkedIn, what's my name? Sav Wild on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And Instagram is Stories of Sav. So, it's my 2 main platforms.
Love it. And all the links will be in the show notes so that everybody can connect with you and come run with you and bike with you or get some AI help from
Yeah,
you, which is
let's
amazing.
go.
Yeah. This
Sounds
is so
awesome.
good. I feel like you have 1,000 more stories. I mean, I feel like
Oh,
there's so many,
we try it.
so
Isn't
many
that,
more.
like, the goal of life?
Yeah,
Just collect as
it
many
is.
stories as you can.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so. As your Instagram name would suggest. Yeah, no, I think that there's so much more. And I just appreciate you coming and talking about this with us because I don't think there's anything that, I mean, if you leave this episode and you're like, yeah, I don't think I can have resilience. I mean, I think you can. If Sav can do that, I think you can. I think you can do the hard things. And I think that you can stretch yourself and just say, what would be worse? And what if I just tried to do that much more right now? And that's a big
Right.
lesson. It's something that we can all learn from and challenge ourselves to do. And when we do that, I think the world is a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spot on.
we need more of it. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Yeah, thank you.
Come back anytime. If this episode helped you think differently about your performance, share it with a teammate, a colleague, or somebody who's chasing something big. And if you're ready to strengthen your mindset on a deeper level, whether you're an athlete, a leader, or a parent, you can find more resources at megandevito.com. Until next time, remember, pressure isn't the problem, your untrained mindset is.